hands up if you've been to the Philippines and played there ever. So for the most part, none of you. So whatever you guys think you are here, I'll tell you right now how good you guys think you are here. Those guys are hungrier than all of you. I'll tell you right now, they're hungrier than all of you. I won't say they're more talented than you, but they're hungrier than you because they have more on the line when they play out there. You know, some of them are playing for food. Some of them are playing to make money for their families, to get to the next level. And you guys coming in there, you're trying to take their jobs, well, they're not going to play fair. And that's just how it is, right? So. I'm Coach Ray Montaniel. I'm the director of FilCan Nation Select. FilCan Nation Select is our platform that tries to, bring light to all the Filipino athletes around Canada. We're part of a bigger organization called FilCan Nation Select, which we kind of do the same thing on multiple areas in the world, from FilAm Nation, FilEuro, New Zealand, Australia, Middle East. So, our organization, again, our goal is to bring light to our community, bring more eyes on our athletes that often get overlooked just because of the way we look. We also aim to provide education to the families on the process of how to play at the next level, specifically in the Philippines, but also around Asia as well, whether it be the college, university, or pro level, national team level. We've all been able to kind of provide the education for these families to decide on whether or not it's a good opportunity for them to pursue as a family and as an athlete, or if maybe staying home is the better option, right? So that's what we aim to do with FilCan Nation Select, is to just, again, bring more eyes to our kids and our communities and uplift all our athletes, organizations, and all the coaches that are part of it. Because without these coaches, FilCan Nation wouldn't be what it is.
It's a win. I just want to win. I just want to win. And at the same time, when you guys win, the only other team that won FilCan was my 19U. And because of that, winning that championship, all these schools, they wanted the guys. Remember, they don't just need talent. They want people who impact winning. So if you can impact winning, great. If you have talent and skill, great. But it has to come together. Are we good with that?
We lived in Scarborough all my life. We lived in Malvern, played at Mother Teresa, one of the top high schools, at least when I was growing up, one of the top high schools in the city. Played with one of the top OBA programs at the time. There wasn't really all this prep in AAU when I was around. That just kind of shows how old I am. But I played for Scarborough Blues. I was with the first team that ever competed in OBA. We won the first championship that year. I was the MVP that year. So from high school, I just played university basketball. I walked on at York University. Didn't get much time. I knew that I could play, but for whatever reason, I wasn't getting the opportunity. So I just kept training, kept working, and I said, when I graduate, I'm gonna, pursue a pro career in the Philippines. So when I decided to go there, I had a handful of people who said, oh, I'm gonna help you when you get there. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. All these different promises that was made to me. When I got there, I couldn't get a hold of these guys. And the tryouts that they said I would be in, the practice I was gonna be scheduled to go to, never happened because I couldn't get a hold of the guys that promised me all this stuff. So eventually, I would say about 2 months into me being there, I finally connected with one of them, and he was able to connect me with Boss Danny. So a lot of people probably know who Boss Danny, his Spirit 2 is. And so he kind of helped me a little. Later that summer, I was in the PBL draft. So I was in the same year as Gabe Norwood, Tom Mercado. I was that same batch as those guys going into the PBL, and I did the rookie camp. I thought I had a really good showing at the rookie camp, but I didn't get drafted, and it was tough. Obviously, going there, I'll be honest, I think I was the top player my age, Filipino-wise here, but like I told these kids just now, like, you can be the top Filipino here, but guess what? The Filipinos back home are just as talented and hungrier, and that's just what it is. There's gonna be a lot of good talent out there, right? So this is why we're trying to form this team early, get not only the talent together, but build some chemistry with all you guys, so that come Manila, you guys, you can perform at the highest level, which I know you guys can. All right, so thank you guys again for being here, and I'll let Coach John lead the rest of the practice. They're bringing it in at one time. Let's go. I got news that my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, so I made a tough decision. I said maybe God has a different plan for me, and maybe it's time to kind of go back home and kind of help with my family. So I made the tough decision of going back home. I was also leaving my wife, who I met back there, and obviously it was tough. That was not in our plans, but God had a another plan for us. So, you know, we made the tough decision of kind of living apart until we could get her paperwork to get back home. So coming back here, I couldn't get away from basketball still. When I first moved here, played all the men's leagues, tried to still prove that I could still play, because obviously that was something that was still in my heart, that I could still play at the high level in the Philippines, and it just didn't work out the way I wished I did. And like I said to these kids, like, those kids are hungry. Like, those kids are playing for their lives, some of them, right? And we don't know that, because for the most part, I think everyone in this gym is privileged to be where they are. And that's what I try to teach these kids whenever we go home to Manila. Bringing these teams, that's the biggest thing you're gonna learn. And that's kind of one of the things I want to teach them. FilCan Nation, how it started was FilCan Nation started their side of things, and the guys who founded it was Chris Gopez and Alex Cabagnat, who's a current PBA player. Well, when I was in the Philippines, I used to train with Alex. Whenever Chris would go home, because he's Alex's cousin, I'd run the camps with him. So that's how we connected. I don't want to know how many years that was, but fast forward to 2019, he asked me to be a part of it and be the director of FilCan Nation. Once COVID reopened, that's when we started doing FilCan Nation, and that's where we are today. You know, this is a passion project that I really love to be part of, and just really try to guide these families and parents from my mistakes, from my lessons, so that they don't make the same mistakes, and that hopefully these opportunities will allow them to have a better life and better basketball journey, right? And that's kind of what I want to do, and uplift these athletes, uplift the coaches that we have that are amazing, and uplift the programs where these kids are really from. They're not from FilCan Nation. We identify them from, you know, DRS, FBA Durham, CCAT, whatever program they're from, and we want to uplift that program too, because they're the ones who developed these kids and found these kids. So, you know, this is all about the community, and that's what FilCan Nation is really about.
Right now, we're bringing one from each division to Manila in 2026. Right now, we don't know the date yet, other than it's going to be March, possibly the 3rd or 4th week of March. Those dates have not been set. They probably will let us know by August, September, hopefully sooner. Although it also could be later. So I just want to let you know that's what the dates are, okay? The goal is, again, to bring one team from each division, although the turnout, depending on the skill level, we could bump it up to 2 teams on each division, or one of the divisions, right? How the tournament works, it's a 1-week tournament from Monday to Sunday. Okay, games from Monday to Thursday, Monday to Friday games. Okay, Saturday no game, and then Sunday's championship. So if you make it that far, you're playing on Sunday. If not, you can go to Baraka, you can go to wherever you want to go after that. All right, but that's kind of like how the tournament
goals is definitely to continue to see more Filipino-Canadians playing at the next level. And when I say next level, it's not only the Philippines. If I can get more kids opportunities to play locally here in Canada, whether it be youth sports, OCAA, OUA, anywhere in Canada at the college university level, that's obviously one of the goals, right? But if we can create more opportunities, because sometimes I said they don't get looked at the same way, if we can get them playing post-secondary in the Philippines, and we're in that case, they're usually not paying for anything as far as school, as far as where they live, you know, even their food, everything, flights could be covered as well, right? So that's kind of like what I want to continue to do. Just continue to get and create more opportunities for all these kids that may not have it without FilCan Nation, right? And if they want to become a coach, and you know, I don't limit it to just our athletes. Like, some of our coaches have already expressed coaching at the next level, and I'm in works of trying to help that, right? If I can get a pro coach, you know, a job, that'd be amazing, right? If we could see a Filipino-Canadian NBA, that'd be amazing, right? Just, you know, creating more representation out there so that our kids can really believe that it's possible to be at all these levels. That I know it's possible. They just, you know, we just got to get them there, and it's through some of our avenues, some of our resources that I think we can get them there. It's going to take time, but I know that we have the talent. We already know the passion we have, right, as Filipinos. So it's just really trying to, you know, make more dreams a reality, and that's what I would love to see.
Finish your food. Let's go, next group. Game. Choose one. Pardon? It's somewhere here.
Special shout out to all our coaches of FilCan Nation. You know, without our coaches, we wouldn't have what we have. Shout out to all the families and athletes who continue to believe in us and support our movement. I know it's not easy all the time, right? But you know, I know that I have your best interest in my heart and in my intention. So I really appreciate all our families and parents and athletes that really kind of support us. Shout out to Six Park, who continue to house us at some of our events. You know, shout out to Filipino TV that bring so much light to the community, right? I mean, you know, we're all doing the same thing, just trying to bring more light to what we have. We know how special it is to be Filipino, and you know, I love being Filipino, and I want the world to see what it is to be Filipino, and that's kind of what Filipino TV does. That's what I do from a basketball standpoint. You know, shout out to Phil Nation, of course, like all our directors in FilCan Nation, you know, Phil Euro, Middle East, Australia, New Zealand. They're all doing the same thing. We're a big organization that has the same goal to kind of, you know, help our families, and that's kind of what we're dedicated to. And of course, I mean, the biggest shout out I gotta give is my family. You know, the amount of time that I put into this organization and you know, the events that we do, without my wife, Belle, and my two girls, Alba and Luna, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. And I drive this because, you know, who knows, my daughters might want to play later down the road, but you know what I mean? But, you know, just trying to inspire them that, you know, them as Filipinos can be anything they want. And you know, I've been able to bring them home with me to these tournaments, and I love how they've embraced the culture, right? I met my wife in the Philippines, and you know, I love how my daughters have embraced it. And so shout out to those three who continue to be by my side every step of the way. So, you know, just thankful, very, very thankful for everything that I have, the position I'm in, and just shout out to everybody who's gonna take the next step and go forward with FilCan Nation.
No? All right, get back to work, and we'll wrap it up after. Let's go, bring it in real quick. Let's go, FilCan Nation on 3, 1, 2, 3.
FilCan Nation.
All right, let's go.
Hey, let's get everyone on the baseline.